Hello, guys. A very good evening to one and all present here. I guess I'm audible.
Yes, Katyani, you are audible.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining today's session and hope you have a great learning experience today. Just jotting down once again, I know you all would be familiar with, but what all we'll be covering in today's session. To begin with, writers, we just love writing stories and poems. So, to get you hooked with the pen and paper, the first topic that we'll be covering today is creative writing, which will be taken up by Ishani.
Hello, good evening, guys. This is Aishani Patnaik.
And we just exactly don't know what our professors demand from us when they ask us to write an academic paper related to whatever subject we are covering. So, the basic tips and techniques how to nail the art of creating a perfect academic paper and sharing the tips and techniques for the same, Shreya will be doing.
Hello guys, this is Shreya Negi.
Okay, and something which is the current trend and something which learners just love to do in these days is all about blogging and freelance writing. So that is what we'll be covering in the last two topics, and I hope you enjoy it. Just before we begin with all the fun ride that we have, the fun learning experience, a small tip that I would be sharing with you all that I have brought into my practice and it has benefited me a lot. So, same that I would be sharing with you. I know many of you would be familiar with this book called Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. It is a great book, and people generally use it for reference when they are talking about cracking competitive exams related to where you require comprehensive skills. But we'll be dropping the name of the book in the chat box. But I tried learning words from the book, but it was never easy. I finally known the technique how to use the book, and for the same that is something which I want to share with you all. If you really want to expand your boundary for vocabulary, which is the most essential part for writing any content, be it from email to report or creating fascinating blogs that appeals your audience, it is very important that you have a tight and hold a grip on vocabulary. Format and everything you can easily search on Google, but developing your horizon for creativity, that is something which you need to work on. And for the same, so this book, it has different, I'll just tell you about how the book functions. So the word part made easy, it has different sections. So you have topics related to all the sections that you can imagine, right from science and scientists to talking words about personalities. If for instance, if I give you a sentence right now that it was a great show, when you're writing same thing in formal writing, you fell short of words. So that is when the role of vocabulary really comes into play. And for the same, the book has, you imagine topics, and the book has words related to the same. And for me, I just spent something you love, that is writing. I love, my passion for writing is same. I know you would be experiencing the same, and for that you can devote 15 to 20 minutes to the book each day if you can find time. There are short quick exercises, you have words and then you have synonyms for the same, meanings for the same, and then you have quick exercises which could be fill in the blanks and MCQs or match the following, and which helps you retain these words. We read novels, we come across so many audiobooks and so many new words, but when it comes to writing, we don't really know how to apply these words in our daily life. That is when this book comes into play, and then you can enjoy writing. So, not dragging it too much, but okay. So the first topic that we'll be covering is creative writing, and for all those people who love writing and for creating your novel, for a dream that you write your own stories and present your content to the world, we'll be sharing tips and techniques for the same. It will be taken up by Ishani. Just a small announcement. Stay hooked up to the session till the end because we have few important announcements to make regarding tomorrow's session. Today's session is all from educational point of view. Tomorrow's session we have a fun event for you, and we'll be sharing the details about the same for tomorrow at the end. And let's begin with creative writing. Hook readers to your stories.
Can you see my presentation?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes, yes.
Today we will be covering four topics as mentioned, and I will be talking about creative writing and how important it is to inculcate this in your own habits if you want to write content that is valuable and accepted by your audience. So, creative writing develops creative thoughts using your own imaginations, suggesting alternatives, broaden your thought process, and problem solving abilities. So let's see how to hook readers to your story. So we have few steps to take in order to start our creative writing practice. The first step is knowledge. So when you're writing a fiction or a piece of work, usually your mind is running free. It learns to come up with ideas, thoughts, and suggestions, some of which might be wacky. You're basically creating something new, either a story out of thin air or a new point of view. So, without having prior knowledge of how the topic has been addressed by fellow writers, you won't be able to write something valuable. Know what has been done by the fellow writers, what they have written about the topic that you have chosen, and what is being done, what the writers are writing today, and what you should be doing so that you can add up to the topic that you have chosen and you get a good response from your audience. So if you don't read, you can't write. This is basically you know it. You can go through poems, novels, blogs to understand the way writers describe and how they go about their topic. It gives you a basic idea of usage of different styles and modes of writing. On the other hand, books, magazine and articles are the places where eminent writers and bloggers keep posting their work, which can help you get updated with issues that are addressed globally and what they focus on. Moving forward, the second step is variety. So, in creative writing, your goal is to write creatively. Not only must you choose original ideas and words, you must also craft sentences that are authentic and creative. To do this, you can craft a variety of sentences, sentence patterns, or even types. If you don't use the sentence variety, your writings your writing can be dull and monotonous. It may even lack creativity. So the easiest way to create variety in your sentence is to alter the length of your sentences. For instance, you might write a very short sentence only to make a point, and one very long sentence to describe something, or to make your readers picturize what is happening, or to make them understand a point of view. And why is it like that? So such variation it can include word choice, word tone, vocabulary, and perhaps more than anything else, the structure of your sentence. So you can alter the length of your sentences. It can be short and it can be long and everything in between. It just basically depends on you. So you can alter the style of your sentences, like writing from simple sentences, moving towards complex sentences, and even sentence types, because sentences can be declarative, it can be interrogative, it can be exclamatory, and beyond that, some could be even just unfathomable, left for you to discover. So don't limit yourself to just one style or medium. There are a lot of write-ups out there, a lot of books out there, which are on plot-driven, character-driven, based on different genres, even on alternate universe. You can explore journals, blogs, write-ups, and magazines to understand how different writers speak about one same issue and how it is different from each other. This helps you understand how people think and how point of views matter, and how the same thing is responded by the audience, whether they like it or they choose to debate. So moving forward, I think the PPT is not yet changed. Let me wait a minute. So I'll be presenting you two paragraphs. So the first paragraph will be a piece of writing that lacks variety, and the second paragraph you will see how it turns. So I'm reading the first paragraph. I woke up. The sun was beaming through the window and warmed my face. I turned towards it, closing my eyes to enjoy the moment. I stayed there for a moment and then got out of bed. I padded across to the window. I opened it to hear the birds outside. It looked like it was going to be a good day. So, as you can notice, over here the writer is just stating what is happening, phase by phase, event by event. It's just only stated in sentences. Now, see how the second paragraph goes. I opened my eyes to the warmth of the sun that was beaming through the window. Turning towards it, I closed my eyes and enjoyed the moment. Moments later, I got out of bed and padded across to the window. I opened it, heard the birds outside. I knew it was going to be a good day. So you can notice the transition in the two paragraphs and how you can change the styles and tones in writing in order to make your writing look attractive. This is how the writers change their styles in order to appeal the audience. Moving forward, the third step is searching for ideas. So this is quite a very basic step, and all writers do some research before they put their minds to writing about a topic. So finding articles and blogs about the topic you want to write about and understand how their point of view matches or differs from yours. Moving forward, this is the fourth step. Fourth step is finding yourself. One of the most important and valuable steps in creative writing, your writer should give your readers an idea about your thought process and views. You cannot possibly adopt a fellow writer's style or his or her thoughts because the way you feel about a subject is different from every other person out there. If you read books, you must have noticed the diversity in styles of writers. Your favorite writer perhaps has some qualities you like and you must try implementing them. You definitely should implement them in your work. But originality and creativity comes from your mind. So try to be yourself. So the fifth and the last step is knowing. So this is one of the most important steps. Once you know your audience, every word, sentence, post will be, as you look at your writing, you will hopefully see a theme on which you have written. Any good writer has a very specific topic, niche, or theme that their posts, layout, tweets lend themselves to. The theme that you have established will likely have some people or type of person it appeals to. And this type of person can often be defined by demographics. So what is demographics? Demographics basically relates to a person. It could be a person's age, gender, income, location, language, and on a broader sense, specific hobbies or interests a person has. For example, writing, ballet, painting, hiking, or food. So practice writing something for your audience. Take 15 to 20 minutes out of your daily routine and write a blog post, a short story. It could be even a chapter or whatever you normally love to write. Just be specific to the audience you want to reach. Take up topics for that pair of audience. So if you're on social media, it's relatively easy for you to post your work and let your audience tell you how they feel about it. Or else you can send your work to people you think will want to read about the topic that you have chosen and let them tell you about the work. So lastly, I want to conclude by saying that creative writing is a very helpful exercise in arranging and organizing your thoughts. It develops communication skills, clarity of thought, attention to detail, ability to observe, notice patterns and connect the dots. So you must remember that creativity breeds creativity. The more you feed your imagination, the better you get at ideating, visualizing, and creating. Brainstorming sessions at work will never be the same again after creative writing. Your mind will be full of ideas, thinking faster and sharper, proposing breakthrough ideas and original thoughts. So you must be knowing that giving the appropriate title to the story is very important. Books or stories, you always choose that one story which has the most appeal. Have this short game and see how creativity knocks your door. So we have provided you with a short extract. I want you guys to read this and come up with a title. Keep in mind, it's just an extract. We're trying to check how creative you can be when you're provided with this little information. So you can type your answers in the chat box. Just go through this extract and let us know what suitable title you can think of.
Just read this following extract and come up with some suitable title that you feel is appropriate for the same. Something really creative.
Flowers and Secrets by Ananya Gupta. I really like it. This is really great. Seeds of Sea by Arif Jain and Blossoms of Secrets by Mithun Goshen. Guys, I really like your ideas. These are really great. So this is how you can be creative with the title. So I see something very unusual over here by Shridula Gopinath, Rays of the Wreckage. It's quite intriguing. So guys, everybody, all your titles are really great. So I just want to say that if you have any doubts regarding this creative writing, you can post your questions in the chat box. So we will be moving to academic writing. Over to you, Shreya.
Okay, so our next segment is academic writing. The people from the humanities background might have an idea about it. So we will be covering the discussion under 3 headers mostly. First is what is academic writing and the basic purpose of writing it. Second is rules, and lastly format and an example of a standard academic paper. First is what academic writing really means. So it is a professional form of writing which can be helpful in enhancing the knowledge of the readers. You can write an academic paper on your area of interest. Example, you can do a literature review or a policy criticism like demonetization, EIA draft notification, and many more. Keeping in mind its basic purpose of hooking up more information regarding the domain.
Okay, so when Aishani was showing the slide where about understanding the audience, I have a doubt, like a small question. So basically, if you're starting out at writing, what would you prefer, pleasing the audience or writing what your in your thoughts and what you are? Which one would be better?
So I think it would be better if you start with what you like. After that, you can go up with what the audience like, because if you do not know if the audience likes what you think or not, you cannot move forward. So I think the second one will be better. Start writing about yourself, what you like. That is the best way of starting.
So beginning, like when you're beginning, it's better to write what you feel and what about you,
Yes.
rather than pleasing the audience, right?
Yes, exactly. But before that, you have to do some research about how the topic that you're writing about has been previously been addressed by fellow writers, so that you can craft it better.
So yeah.
Okay, so just adding
Done?
to what Shani said, I would just like to mention that there are lots of portals and websites where you can practice free writing, and of course it is important to open your mind and speak, write what exactly your heart says. But then for writing content which is driven by audience perspective, you also need to know who your target audience is exactly. So if you're writing stories or poems, it is something which you want to present. Like you have your own style of writing, but you should also know that maybe sometimes we find that what we write is the best, but we also need to know what kind of writing do audience prefer. So for that, there are great websites and ideas. I guess there are lots of YouTube platforms if you come across. I'm mentioning few of them. There are which prefer that people who are interested in presenting their poems and stories can come across, and they have great feedbacks. So I guess you can write on your own, but then of course have idea that do audience prefer what you write or not. That is the key point.
Okay. So I was talking about the rules that should be kept in mind while formulating an academic paper. So coming to the do's first. First is try using short sentences and stick to the point. Since I've mentioned that it is a very professional form of writing, exaggerating any point beyond an extent might not look appealing to the readers. So try to be precise and avoid repeating any statements or fact. Second is get your paper reviewed by your peers before turning it in. This is a standard procedure that one must follow before turning your paper in because you roughly get a chance of review from the reader, and certain statements which might look enticing to you can be offensive for others. So peer reviewing is a great step to check for any errors, as well as it gives you a brief idea on how readers will take it. Third is ensure running a spell and grammar check on Word or Grammarly before turning your paper in. This point does not need much explanation, as we all look for any kind of grammatical or spelling errors before turning our paper in. So this is quite evident. Fourth is back your statements through corresponding or relevant data. This is the most important thing to keep in mind while writing your academic paper. It basically means that you have to provide a proper reasoning, be it in the form of news report or statistical data. For example, if I make a point that poverty level in India have reduced in the past few years, then you need to provide the exact data of figures of, say, GDP per capita from NSSO or whatever source you are using to justify your point. Coming to the don'ts, first is don't use first person pronouns like I, myself, me, or many others. Second is avoid using any slangs or casual tone or words. This is also evident that we are writing a professional paper, so these words can't be used in such sense. Third is avoid switching tenses within a statement. Just stick to the tense that you have used initially and avoid misguiding the readers. Fourth is also very important that never use any statement without providing the necessary credits to the author, as it may look unprofessional and degrades your writing as an author. So next we come to the format. It's quite standard. First is title. Always provide a suitable title for your academic paper. This is the core of any academic form of writing and has to be short and descriptive. Next is introduction. The introduction's main goal is to introduce the topic and to reveal the essay's main message or thesis statement. You can use the introduction para to give a historical background about your topic as well as a brief narrative. Next is body or the main content. This is providing your personal opinions or critical reviews coupled with facts or data and writing for the motion or against the motion. All your viewpoints, facts, considerations are made in this main paragraph. So try fitting your main content in compressed sentences to cover every aspect of the topic. Lastly is the conclusion. The conclusion is there to wrap up the entire argument and to leave a lasting impression in the form of overall concluding statement. Okay, so here is an example of a standard academic paper. It contains all the headers, mostly the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. The title is, I think, missing from the slide. So the title has to be there. It's really important to mention that descriptive form of writing has to be short in the form of title. Okay, so with this we conclude our discussion on academic writing. Please feel free to ask your doubts in the chat box or unmute yourself. Over to Katyayani.
Okay, so you can come up with any queries if you have. I am beginning with blogging. Okay, so we all wish to create content for the audience, and content is the foundation of whatever we do or whatever we present to the audience. What I feel the best part about blogging is that there is a wide variety and range for which you can write. It could be simple simply begin by sharing your daily routine, to writing blogs about lifestyle, DIY gifts, how to decor your room, to creating technical blogs, which would just the difference between creating technical blog and something which you write for your love and passion for writing is that the research work varies. That's it. Nothing else varies. For writing technical content, you need to research a more maybe, but writing content for your own purpose, you just write what your heart feels. So we'll be learning how to maintain a perfect blog and how to the tips to create your journey for blogging. Okay. So there are three basic steps to create a perfect blog that defines you and people get to know who you are. The first step is very evident and something which you all should be aware of. It is what you want to write. At times, we get influenced by what other people write and what others expect us to write. It is important that you know that what you want to exactly present to your audience and how your audience perceives your writing as. Secondly, it is equally important to know what they want to read. Here, they refers to the people whom you are targeting to. It's very evident that if you're writing something related, for example, if you're writing something for the education portals, there are these apps which you come across each day, Byju's or all the Unacademy apps, whatever. I'm just talking about educational point of view from this side. So your target audience here would be the students. So you have to write articles or your blog should be related to easy content writing which they can easily understand and it is easy for them to comprehend. Similarly, if you're writing something related to marketing a brand, then you can of course use difficult words and something interesting to appeal the audience. You should clearly know how an article varies from a blog and how it is different from a report. The style varies, but the basic idea for writing any content remains the same. The third most important step is the material available. There are so many websites. You just want to buy a book, maybe, for example. You want to find the book review for the same, that is it worth enough buying or not. You just search for the book review and you have multiple sites which would give you the review of the same. Some would say that the book is really nice according to their own perspective. Some would believe that the book is not really good and it is not worth buying. It is important that you know exactly what material you want to include in your blog. So what I suggest that start blogging using WordPress. It is something which you can create a private account. Firstly, give a suitable title. If you are writing, there are two types of blogging. Either it could be diverse, it could include diverse topics, or it could be related to a single genre, something which your interest lies in. So create a WordPress account, give a catchy title to your account, something like if you would be someone who would be judging your blog, would you open the website and search through the content? So that is something which is very important. So this was the basic idea how the three steps that you should know before starting to write a blog. And the next most important step is that why you want to blog. If you just go through the facts on internet, you come across that there are millions and millions of bloggers, and mostly half of them they just lose their passion and interest for writing. That should not be the case. So if you're writing content which becomes monotonous, then of course you fail to research ideas for the same, and if you don't like what you write, how would you appeal the audience? So you should exactly know what you want to write, what you want to blog about, all the necessary details that are required about your blog to make your content interesting and appealing for the audience. Try using alliterations. For example, Dunkin' Donuts, Fred Flintstone. Even if you speak it loud, you know that it sounds so interesting. Adding fun, and for all this, of course, you need to brainstorm words and research your niche is the most important step for the same. Know who your readers are. If you're targeting a specific group of audience, you should know that what content are they looking for, and research your ideas according to the same. So these are the basic steps that I would request that you all should go by before creating any blog, and of course beginning with to create a WordPress account for the same. Now third step, which is creating content for the audience. The three basic steps for creating a perfect blog are aggregate, select, and enhance. Aggregate, just three basic steps: read, search, and collect. Read is there is no defined boundary. There are seamless boundaries for what all you can read. From my own point of view, if you want to create content that people read, find useful and interesting ideas to present something unique to your audience. Keep tabs on blog you wish to create content from. You can of course take ideas from these bloggers and add your own tint of ideas to the same and create something which is unique. So to draw traffic to your blog, all these are the ideas. For me, if you could like any blogging journals, for example, you could love writing about lifestyle, or maybe something about new dishes that you've cooked in your lockdown. You can share anything with the world. It is just that it should appeal the audience. You should go by, there are lots of renowned bloggers and you can go by their pages. For people who love traveling, and if you want to find interesting ideas about how to write a travel blog, what the theme should exactly be, what images attract the audience, and you love reading the content of the blog. So there are these, if I just give you the names, you will come to understand that these are travel blogs. Example, Anywhere We Roam, the travel episodes, Another Escape, The Never Ending Footsteps. So these are some of my favorite blogs which I love reading, and you can find your own. Just research ideas about the same on net, go through their pages, see the images, the theme that they use for their blogging, and try creating similar on WordPress. Maybe you start with a private account, share it with your friends, get valuable feedback from them, share it with people you know that could help you improve your writing, and then further create it public. So that is something which you can do if you're a beginner in writing blog and you really want to share something to the world. So the third step is enhance, which is basically add your ideas, creating something of your own, and tag the right people, asking them to comment and sharing the best that you can. Okay, so the first step for creating a blog, there is no particular format in which you create a blog. It is just the title and the appealing content within it. So for title, if I tell you how to create a catchy title for your blog, first thing is that pick words that describe your topic in the blog. Now, if you're writing a blog related to maybe a new technology or something new that has come up in the market, you're just seeing through your title, the people or audience who are driven for reading your content should exactly know what you want to write. So pick words which exactly describe your topic. Second, the most important thing, assume you to be your own audience and question yourself, would you read the blog after reading the title? So this is very important. If you go through websites, you just see the name of the website and sometimes you skip it because the name does not sound so appealing. So how would you expect the audience to come and read your blog? So similarly, for the same reason, I request you to create, the title should be really appealing and convey what the content content is promising you to write. The third most step is, which I believe is most important, is write the title before you start writing the content for the blog. Now the reason for the same is that if you write the title first, you know your keyword. Keyword is most important for writing content for any website. If you know your keyword, the content that you write would revolve around the keyword. Whereas if you go for the reverse process, if you write the content first and then go for the title, it is quite possible that you may deviate from the topic and try dragging the content of your blog, which we don't want. We need to stick to the word limit. So it is very crucial, if you can think of great title ideas before beginning with the content of the blog, it could be the best option. Okay, so the next step is try using listicles, infographic or questions in your titles. Now what listicles exactly is? I know most of you would be aware with these articles that you come across, which are very eye-catchy and they tell you exactly how long the article is. For example, 5 gadgets that everyone should own, or 6 secrets to achieving work-life balance. Just seeing these titles, you feel tempted to open the blog at least and just reading it once, because you find that these would be short articles and would exactly convey what information you need. So this is a general guide for people who are thinking of beginning to blog. Of course, you can generate your own ideas about titles, but something which is very general and most people use in their blog is what I'm sharing right now. So listicles is you use numeric values in conveying the information that you want to in your blog. Second one is infographics, which is basically representing whatever information you want to display to the audience using images or graphic data, which are easier to comprehend as compared to long text. Third one is questions. So how do you include questions in your title? Now I'll give you some examples. In general, if we talk about the titles of certain blogs, it could be something like a guide to something, or no one will tell you how to, what, why. All these questions are there, which makes you inquisitive, all the inquisitive minds, to at least open the blog and see what the content is. If you include questions in your blog and something like you're not sharing, like what I said just before, no one will tell you so all these ideas could help you improve your gaining traffic for your blog. And of course, after that is what the content matters the most. People should come and see your blogs based on the title that you are in. Of course, the content should exactly contain details about what you promise in the title. The last most step is don't include long lines for the title. That is what the content's purpose is. Title should be short, sweet and crisp. Next slide. Okay, so just what I've shared before. I'm a quick question, just the idea that I've shared about how to write a title. So if I give you a topic to generate catchy blog title describing your lockdown diaries, in which you share what all new you have learned during the period, or how you stayed motivated, and what all you experimented with to remove your boredom. So just a quick, short, sweet, crisp blog title for the same. Imagine that this is your first blog post that you're posting on WordPress, and create a catchy blog title for the same. My new life, great one. How many seconds in eternity? See, exactly what I told. You can include questions in your blogs, and it would exactly help people to know what just by reading how many seconds in eternity, you would never come to know that it is something related to the lockdown diaries. Why my lockdown was the best. The pursuit of happiness. It could be for some people, of course. Ways to spice up your lockdown. So all these ideas, this is what I'm saying. It should just be short, crisp, and something that people open up and they're tempted to open up your blog at least and read what the content is all about. An introduction to boredom. Great ideas. Guys, let us just begin with the next Tales of Lockdown. Great one. Let us just begin with the next slide. Okay, so here I am talking about bagging internship opportunities. Of course, many of you would be new to how content writing internship looks like, but here what I'm sharing basically is something which is very trendy these days, and it is all about blogging. But the tips that I'm sharing over here about internship is related to any kind of writing that you feel. So not just about blogging, but you can use this in any form of writing that you follow. So the first step is write what suits your style. Don't try to imitate what influences what you get influenced by from other styles. So you have your own style, that is your comfort zone. We of course tell that get out of your comfort zone, but then it feels that you are trying to impose someone else's idea in your own, which is not really a great idea. That is very important. Second one is, if you are writing content or blog for any website, it should be error free, and for that you can use apps such as Grammarly and Hemingway app. Two of them I mentioned. There are several more apps which you can go through. for eliminating spelling and grammatical errors, which is the most important part for creating error-free content on any of the websites that they demand for. Leave your own footprint. So again, a tip that I would be sharing with you for internship, when you go for the internship, when they ask you for internship forms, they often ask you for what all backdrop or experience do you have. So for the same, I would request you to practice replying to questions on Quora. Now, Quora is a platform which is not related to just one topic, or it just does not stick to one single genre. It has topics related to anything that you can imagine, and questions related to, people come up with such interesting questions that you could have never imagined. And answering these questions is just so much fun. It could be right from how to nail your class 10th board exams to a recent political topic, something related to current affairs, a new technology, or it could be anything. So it is just so much fun to reply answers to Quora, and it really improves your writing skill. You get to know from the comments or from the feedback that you get at how good your writing is. Second one is sign up on Tumblr, Wattpad archive. I don't know how many of you would be reading stories on Wattpad. There are interesting short stories which are there on Wattpad, which you can read, and it also gives you an opportunity at time to time. You have prompts and competitions related to on Wattpad, in which you can share so much, like any story, what suits your genre. Maybe you love thriller or you love adventurous stories. Reading is one, and then writing stories related to the same is other thing. Also, there are lots and lots of online contests that keep on happening for recognition, and it helps you boost your own morale for writing, because of course you get appreciation from people for what you write, but then if you get awards, what better can you ask for? So I've mentioned one of them, which is Write India campaign. It is the third edition has recently taken place. It is by Times of India, and it comes up with great interesting prompts and tells you the word limit for which the submissions are made, and then you have the best writers, best authors who select your writing. So take part in contest and improve your writing for the same. The next one is tag your blogs well. It is important to reach the right audience. You're writing blog for people, for students, and then you are tagging someone who is not a student. It is not exactly right. You won't get the exact feedback that you're looking for. So tagging the right audience is very important. Begin with friends. Write blogs on this is about general writing also. That's what I mentioned, that write content which you can share with your friends, get feedback from them, and then further engage more audience. So this one is the next step. Overcome that block. Okay, content writing becomes quite monotonous. Like at times you feel that you don't have ideas, any more ideas. You don't have ideas for blogging. You feel that you are falling short of words, and you don't really get to know what next to write. So that is the main concern that content writers feel, and it is just important that you face it and don't avoid writing, because once you lose the flow of writing, it is very difficult to get back in the booth again. So find what works for you to get going. If you love stories and you get bored of writing stories, switch to poems. Maybe you don't like it today, but tomorrow once you begin writing, you love it. So just don't stop writing, keep on writing, and switch different styles of writing. There is so much to explore in writing. Lastly, just a single sentence. Reading regularly enhances your vision, and writing regularly enhances your expression. Set up a routine, and maybe just for the love for your writing, devote some time and see that your writing would surely improve. Okay, so here the last topic that we are covering today is what is freelance writing. So the word seems tough, but it is nothing tough. It is basic writing. And what best can you ask for if you're getting paid for what you love doing? So who does not want to get paid for what you love doing? So here, freelance writing is basically you write your work, it gets published, and then you are being paid for the same. So the practice of writing for money on your own. So the best part is that you have your own flexible time. You work on your own conditions, have your own desk, and then own working timing, and then you're getting paid for that. What else can you demand for? So the freelance writing, there is no starting and end boundary. It is endless. It could be articles, magazine, writing for magazines, newspaper editions, anything. But the difference is that you have to be a bit extra careful in writing content because now you have an audience to target to exactly. And that's what freelance writing is all about. So it could be anything, but just generating content which appeals to your audience and you exactly know who to focus on. So next slide. Okay, so things to keep in mind while freelance writing. As I mentioned, freelance writing is nothing but just writing content, writing the same thing which you do, but you are getting paid for it. So, and the reason for the same that companies look for in a freelance writers is that generally your ideas cannot be, people cannot market your ideas and they do not have good content for expressing what your vision is. So that is where the role of freelance writer comes into place. You exactly know who your audience is, and then you write content for the people what your client demands you to do so. So things that which are very important for you to keep in mind when you are thinking about freelance writer, and of course to mention there is a lot of scope of internships for freelance writers. If you come across few website which ask you for your resume for content writing, you would see that in the skills required section they would definitely mention freelance writing, which you again have to google that what exactly it is. But that is what I'm mentioning, it is nothing different to what writing you do in general. It is just that you're getting paid for that. You have to be a bit extra careful. So the points that you need to keep in your mind: know who exactly your audience is. The entire session that we have been discussing about, for any writing you need to know who your audience is. Here you exactly know who your audience is. So that is the basic difference. Second point is research thoroughly. Again, so many websites. Cutting down 15,000 words to 100 words is an art. We all nail the art of creating 100 words to 500 words in our exams, which is now easier for us. But for content writing, at times you have word limit and you need to cut down. The art is opposed. And then here you have to cut down 15,000 words to 100 words. That is where your creativity comes into play. So research your work thoroughly and do not try to drag your content in search of creating the required number of words. So third point, use short, crisp and simple sentences. This point is very clear. If I tell you to open a website and to search something right now, and it could be anything like something, maybe you want to get some idea from internet right now, would you prefer going to refer to an article which has 1500 words explaining the same thing which could be brought down into 100 words? So get yourself into the shoes of an audience and then write your content. It would surely help you build your skills for any form of writing. The fourth step is use bullets, points, headers. Now again the same thing. Short, crisp and simple sentences for you to make your content appealing and that people come and read your content. It is important that you use bullets, catchy headlines and headers. Now how do you generate these? We come across if you're reading a newspaper, for example, which most of us don't right now nowadays, but still, if you come across newspaper article, you see the title of the article and then you decide that you want to read the content or not. So how do people generate these ideas for writing headers? It is very simple. You think about a topic and you associate words with it. For example, if you think about music, whatever the first word that comes to my mind for music is soothing. You try finding synonyms for soothing, or mixing and matching of words is what the art of creating headers and headlines is all about. Just think about the genre that you want to write or you are expected to write. Just mention down a few words that are associated with the same and then mix and match of words. That's it. That's all the art of creating headers and catchy taglines. Or your posts for Insta catchy captions. That is all the art is all about. The fifth and the most important point is stick to active voice. To present clearly what your writing is, it is important that you clearly mention your article or blog in form of active voice. For any content for freelance writing, here we are talking about freelance writing. So it is for any form of writing, stick to active voice. Now I'll give you an example. Um, for example, for your love for animals, and you had a recent trip to Savannah maybe, and there's a sentence which you want to include in your writing, which was, if you write it in passive voice, it would sound like this: Savannah is roamed by beautiful giraffes. And the same thing, if you convert in active voice, it sounds like beautiful giraffe roam the savannah. Now you can yourself, just by listening to it, decide which sounds more interesting. Active voice is often almost every time crystal clear, and people would enjoy your reading if you stick to active voice. That is one tip which is very basic, and you need to keep your mind if you're thinking about being a part of freelance writing, which is just so much fun to be. And the last and the foremost point is, take care of orientation and indent of the content. Now, indent of the content, here what we talk about indent is, regularly when you write, if you're a manual writer, writers use pen and paper for writing. We generally don't go to Word and other things for writing. So you know how much spacing you exactly need, right? That is what the whole idea of orientation and indent is. You know how to place your words, break it into paragraphs, use bullets, and then present your content so that it appeals to the audience. So these were the few things that you need to do. Now coming to things which you need to avoid, which are again driven from things that you should do. So do not plagiarize. The first thing I told you, to research ideas. Now it does not mean that you start plagiarizing and copying what others write. That is their style of writing, and you have your own style of writing. Writers, we have to think of our own ideas for whatever content you create. Do not repeat ideas, the second most step. You can take inspiration from people, read their content, read websites that you love reading, read journals of related to a different authors, maybe books you love, anything. But do not try to imitate their ideas or copy their ideas. Have your own individuality. Do not write long walls of text. If you are the audience, you would, for watching a YouTube video, if you want to learn a topic, we prefer going to a 5-minute video rather than going for an 1-hour video. So these are the basic steps that you need to just step into their place, audience place, and think that would you be reading your content if it would have been the same way you have written. So do not write long walls of text and convert it into bullets, breaking into paragraphs and sticking to the word limit. The most important part of freelance writing is that you will be given word limit, and you need to include all your content, whatever comes to you. Maybe you have thousands and thousands of words related to the content that you're given to write about. But then sticking to word limit is very important, because that is where the whole art of content writing lies about. So that was all about freelance writing from my side and blogging. Any questions? Are you free to ask any questions if you have? I see so many vivid ideas about music, something really interesting. But that is all content writing is all about. If you just love writing, then you can go to any extent about creating content for anything that is asked to. The basic tips and techniques remain the same. It's just that you need to know what requires formal writing, what requires informal writing, a distinction and a clear wall between these ideas. So that was all from our side. Any questions? We are open to addressing questions. Okay, so before we end with today's session, an important announcement that I wanted to make is that for tomorrow's session, today's was all from educational point of view, and for tomorrow's session we have fun games planned for you guys which you would enjoy for sure, because I saw such creative ideas in the comment box today. So you'll love tomorrow's session for sure. I've shared the event details about the same on the group. I'll do that once again. And we'll be generating a Google form tonight in which all those who are interested, and I hope that you all are interested in joining tomorrow's session and have some fun games to bring practicality to what all we learned today. And so the 3 games that we'll be playing tomorrow are Weave Your Story, Connect the Dots, and the third one is how you basically message for entry. These are the 3 games, and the details about the same will be mentioning in the group, and a form will be generated tonight which you need to fill up. And hoping to see happy and cheerful session tomorrow and active participation from all of you.